those images there coming to you live from the Midlands. We're covering the floods all morning. And Simon, we're going to talk to you in just a few minutes' time. So hold that position. Don't move.
Can I just say hello to somebody?
Yeah, you can.
Can I say hello to the boys at Greenwatch at Wandsworth Fire Station? Hi, boys. Hope you have a really good day. You're doing a really good job.
Are these friends of yours?
No, they're fans.
They're Tania Strecker fans?
Yes.
Well, I say, ladies and gentlemen, Tania's fans, the firemen. Thanks for that message. Do I have any such messages?
No, you have no fans. Except me.
Thanks very much. Let's hear a cry.
Read all about it! Read all about it!
OK, let's have a look at the headlines. First one held by Karen, who dies in Brookside tonight. Karen, don't look annoyed. I'm only having a bit of fun. We'll chat to you later. Was that meant to be a secret? Have I broken the storyline?
Oh,
OK.
dear.
Karen will come to you later. Now, there's the headlines. The Sun. Madness, the headline. Panic at the pumps. But there's no blockade, is what it says underneath there. Worried Tony Blair last night urged drivers to stop stockpiling fuel as a wave of mad panic buying began to sweep Britain. We've got more on that later. And also at the top there, a Sun exclusive. There's a photograph there. Have a look. A photograph of the 10 members of Westlife. OK, on the Mirror. Thanks. On the Mirror. On the Mirror. Now, we had no pun down this week. If we had had a pun down, this would have been number one, I imagine. Floody hell! They sat round the Mirror. We need a pun. We need a pun for tomorrow. Got it. So, Floody hell, the headline. We haven't been doing a blah, 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 blah. Anyway, you know the story there. Bad Britain was last night warned of a 48-hour deluge of rain starting on Sunday. If we could let our weatherman know that there's going to be floods next week so we can save his dignity and he doesn't fail to predict it yet again. And also, let's go to the final headline today. Daily Express, obscene, the headline there. Oil companies were yesterday accused of plundering obscene profits of £24 million a day. The announcement came as motorists continued to panic buy petrol, causing a repeat of the queues seen in September. There's a great quote from one motorist in the paper today. He says, "I was out and about and I saw queues at all the petrol stations. I thought I'd better join the panic and fill up my tank."
Stop panic buying, everybody.
Yeah, no. Join the panic. Quick, everyone here, quick, join, we must join. So that, yes, the alarm's gone. We must join. So they're reflecting the attitude of many motorists around Britain, and they also just keep it there for me. The Express top of there as well. Have a look at the top bit. Who said Mrs. Thatcher is sexier than Denise? Now, that is an interesting question, and that is something that I will come to as I get in there. Thank you. In fact, I'm going to come to it right away. Here we go. They see things differently in Westminster, but until now it wasn't clear exactly how differently is how this piece starts in the Mail. Hooked up to monitors to measure racing pulses and sweaty palms, MPs and peers registered a lukewarm response when shown the flirtatious image of Denise Van Outen. But when they caught a glimpse of Margaret Thatcher's steely gaze, the monitors rocketed off the scale. When they carried out the same test on members of the public, this is good news. Denise Van Outen, who hosts The Big Breakfast, it says, on Channel 4.
Not today, but next week.
Next week was the clear winner with members of the public. Now, it's interesting. So the MPs actually... this claims they were sexually aroused by Thatcher.
No, but hang on, can I just ask a really naive, ignorant question?
Yeah.
What differentiates between the heart rate of being sexually aroused and just being in fear?
Yeah, I mean, exactly, yeah. That's what I think, yeah, exactly. I mean, they're probably thinking...
Thanks, Carpet.
Yeah, no, they're probably saw Thatcher, oh, it's Thatcher!
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the Mail has claimed that it was sexual. I suspect it's been somewhat embellished. Yes. But there we are. Also, Tele-quiz witch. Anne Robinson.
Quote.
Harsh words, folks. Tele-quiz witch Anne Robinson is being mimicked by school bullies. No. Also, the Daily Star here says, Rottweiler Robinson. Extraordinary words.
Harsh.
Now, when they say that school bullies are mimicking Anne Robinson, I don't think they mean that they're winking a lot. No. And neither do they mean that they're all growing a bit of facial hair. Because if you do, I like Anne very much. I'm a big fan of the show, as I've been saying all week. But if you watch The Weakest Link, when she turns her head, from side to side, Tanya, you do see a bit... Have a look. I'm being serious. You have a look. You see a light coating of facial hair.
Fluff. Bit of bum fluff.
So much so that sometimes I want to go and stroke it.
Do you, Rich, though? Do you ever go up to the telly and just go...
Well, not until now, but
There you
next
go.
time I watch Weakest Link Champions League, I might do just that. No, but that's not what they're doing. They're mimicking something else. And actually, this brings me on to a little anecdote. My mate Dean, who actually works at this show, told me that he's got a season ticket to Tottenham. And this chap who sits a couple of seats... let's not have football chats, but the chap who sits a couple of seats behind him, old bloke, he says he shouts increasingly bizarre things at their own players.
Right.
Players that he doesn't like. Says the other night, this old bloke stood up behind him and he went... Darren Anderton, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. One of the best chants I've heard for some time, but also that's what school bullies are doing. Now, please don't do it and don't be a bully.
Don't be a bully, ever.
I suffer from really bad body odour. I've tried...
Now you
Not
see.
me, viewers, not me. No, this is a letter to an agony aunt. I suffer from really bad body odour. Again, not me. I've tried deodorant and having showers every day, but nothing works. What else can I do? Answer from the agony aunt. Have you ever tried never leaving the house again? You could have food parcels dropped from a plane into your back garden in the dead of night to prevent you from venturing out to the shops and scaring small children. Good to see, Carpet, that your letter made it. And interesting as well that you wrote to Attitude magazine. That comes from as well. Embellishing a rumour. Carpet monster. Kiddy's favourite, Tigger, has been removed from Disney stores in disgrace.
Oh, never. Why?
A children's icon removed in disgrace.
I love Tigger.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, children who squeeze his foot, where there is an inviting arrow with the words press here...
I was going to get this for my daughter.
Well, don't.
Why?
Whatever you do, don't get it.
Oh, OK.
They're given a rude greeting.
Oh.
It's a word that I feel as I should say. Normally, I wouldn't be allowed to say it. Gallery, am I allowed to say this rude word that comes out of Tigger's mouth?
Surely
I'm not. Am I allowed to say... I've got a button here. Am I allowed to say the word... Any chance at all? Right, I'm not allowed to say, I'm not even allowed to allude to it. Just to give you an idea, Carpet, have you ever been called a... I'm just trying to suggest to people what Tigger says. Have you?
No, I've never been called a...
Thanks very much. But that's shocking news. I'm going to come on to another story, actually, which is about a guy who is very firmly not a... It's about Bruce Forsyth. Now, can you remember, this is an update on a story from earlier in the week. Brucey quit ITV. Shocked a lot of people very upset. I was a big fan of Play Your Cards Right. Well, I'm afraid the story gets even worse, folks. Brucey is set to join Channel 5.
Yeah, don't do it, Bruce.
Please! Anything but that. I mean, we say we're being horrible. I actually think there's some quite good shows on Channel 5. Don't know
Name
about
one.
you, Tanya.
Name one.
House Doctor. Have you seen the show House
Never
Doctor?
change, Rich.
Malcolm, you've seen the show
Never
House
change.
Doctor. Malcolm, our ex-PR person who's come back from the dead. You've seen House Doctor. It's first class.
It's brilliant.
So they're a mild defence of Channel 5, having had a little dig at it anyway. But also today, some other big news for you as well. Tony Blair has spoken to this show. The Prime Minister has spoken to the Big Breakfast. It's not a joke, this is fact. He's spoken about the floods. This is some very special footage. Have a look at this.
Prime Minister, do you think there's something of a Dunkirk spirit here at the moment?
Well, there's certainly a very stoical spirit, but there needs to be with the flooding.
And how are your wellies standing up to it?
There's a lady here.
Tony, thanks for coming.
Now, I don't sort of start the show, but we showed this clip. We're very proud of the fact that, you know, Tony Blair has spoken to Channel 4's Big Breakfast. And I can tell you it's the first time he's ever spoken to us, Tanya.
It's amazing, and it's while I was here.
Gosh.
I feel so honoured.
Perhaps it's because you were here. Who knows? But there, Tony Blair. Now, what I find... Can I just show the end again? I want to do it again. It does look like... There's a guy called John who produced that piece and asked the questions. And I'm sure it looks like Tony Blair is about to whack him. Have a look. Let's play the end of the clip.
There's something of a
Look at the
Dunkirk
mic.
spirit here at the moment.
Well, there's certainly a very stoical spirit, but there needs to be with the flooding.
And how are your wellies standing up to it?
There's a lady here.
Near violence from the Prime Minister. I think that's a good chance to actually, a good time to join the Outside Broadcast.